that was Mimika with the song Mis ojos lloran por ti. Alright, so, as I was saying, there's a little rain outside the campus right now, so if I feel the chill, then I'm sorry. Just ran all the way here from the bookstore. I'm trying to get a sweater. I didn't get one at the minute, so I just ran out from there and didn't get one. Alright, so let's go play some music. Alright, so our first song up here, if we can find it. Alright, it should be, where is it? Oh, here it is. Wait, that's not the first one. Alright then, so here is now from Jennifer Lopez, the song Papi. And that was Natasha Bedingfield with the song Love Like This. Now, originally, I was supposed to have a song from a friend of mine from his band who only existed for a few years. Unfortunately, he was unable to bring me the songs. So anyways, here's plan B. Here is now from some band I've never heard of, the song Yo Te Necesito by Los Bookies. I really honestly don't know what I'm going to play, but I heard it's interesting. Oh God, why band ever recorded? Said the weirdest thing I ever presented here. The song Yo Te Necesito by Los Bookies. For those wondering why I play that, it's because I happen to know a friend whose nickname is Bookie. And well, I didn't know this band existed until yesterday. So, there. We'll play one more song and then we'll go to commercial break. Here is now a mashup between Nirvana and Rick Astley. If you don't know the latter, well, you gotta know now. Here's the song Never Gonna Give Your Teen Spirit Up. Am I evil? No. If you didn't get that trailer, today we're talking about Bruce Almighty. Originally I talked about another movie, but I haven't been able to pick up that movie yet. Said movie, of course, is The Lion King, which is out today on Blu-ray and DVD. So, anyways, let's talk about this one. This is an oldie, but still, it's a pretty good one. Here we have the movie Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey from Tom Shadyac, who also directed the movie Liar Liar. Now, of course, if you know by now this movie, it stars Jim Carrey as Bruce Nolan, who is a TV anchor who one day goes berserk after getting skipped over the anchor job, and does things that the God is well screwing him. And so finally God, played by the great Morgan Freeman, comes in and tells him he has his powers. So for a while he uses his power for his own fun, until he finally starts to help people the wrong way. If you've seen this movie, it is a really good movie. It's one of the best comedies I've seen from Jim Carrey, and personally, I am Catholic, so it's still a good comedy. Even depending, you don't have to be all religious about this movie. There's barely any religion in it anyway. So the Blu-ray edition here is the same as the DVD edition that came out prior. It includes deleted scenes, outtakes, a featurette on Jim Carrey, commentary. Not much of a difference unless you want BD Live, which hardly works for me. Anyways, I recommend this film. It's a great film. It's one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies alongside Batman Forever. And it's just a really good comedy. The sequel, on the hand, which we'll briefly talk about right now, is nah. The sequel, for those who don't know, is the movie Evan Almighty. A sequel which came out 4 years afterwards, and, like all Jim Carrey movies, does not have Jim Carrey in it. He once said reportedly that he usually doesn't want to do a sequel because, well, there's no more ideas for his character. In fact, the only time he's ever done sequels for Ace Ventura. Once. Anyways, in Evan Almighty, for those who don't know, Steve Carell's character, Evan Baxter, if I'm right, is the name, goes from being a news anchor to being a congressman. Yeah. It moves to Washington, and now has to deal with all the Congress people and trying to get him to change his mind. And then God, played again by Morgan Freeman, comes in to tell him that he'll flood the place. Now that was a bit more religious. But anyways, Evan Almighty is a really big change from Bruce Almighty. Like, the more obvious one is the fact that the rating, like, just look at the rating here. Bruce Almighty's rating is PG-13, while Evan Almighty, which if I'm in the same box here, because I lost the box for Evan Almighty, it's rated PG. And from what I've seen in the movie itself, I have seen both of them. Bruce Almighty was, of course, aimed at teenagers and adults, while Evan Almighty was aimed at families. That's a really low distance to go. You go from PG-13 to PG. That's just bad. So I will say this about Evan Almighty. It does have a wider ratio. Like, Bruce Almighty was filmed in 185:1, while Evan Almighty was filmed in 2 by 35:1. And if I'm right, it's considered the most expensive comedy because of how they had to develop an entire arc. Now, you might say, like, a terrible movie. Like, I will say this. It is a good movie, but it's just oddly connected to this film because, like, sure, both of them feature Evan Baxter and other characters from and Morgan Freeman as God. Like, they, alongside their characters, Susie Ortega from, I think, the news section of the films, appears in it. But it's just odd because you go from Jim Carrey to Steve Carell. Like, both are good comedians. I've seen their work. I like their work, but it's just odd going from a teen adult demographic to a family demographic. Then all the poop jokes. There are too many poop jokes. Anyways, speaking of movies that are out today, there are two movies that are out today which you probably should know about. The one, of course, I've been talking about for the last few weeks is The Lion King, which is finally out on Blu-ray and DVD, available in several formats. For example, over at Best Buy, you can, if you pre-order the book like I did, movie. If you pre-order the movie, you get alongside your movie a steelbook for respective discs, so you can put your Blu-ray 3D, DVD, and Blu-ray disc in there. You can also get the Lunchbox edition, which I think is only at Best Buy. Well, it is the Lunchbox. And at Target, if I'm right, you can get a soundtrack included with the purchase. Anyways, the other movie, which is one of my favorites and hated by some because of its product placement, well, let you listen to the trailer and see what you think about it. It just loads right about now. Space Jam, which was released back in 1996. Now, for those who don't remember 1996, which would be strange, if the movie Space Jam features Michael Jordan alongside the Looney Tunes characters, and what is considered to many the first Looney Tunes feature film. Now, before you go criticizing me on there's more than one, there are of course a series of Looney Tunes movies that were released back in the 70s and 80s, but those are technically compilations because by the 70s, short films like the Looney Tunes ones that have been in theaters from the 40s all the way to the 60s had gone out of style. They've been dropped from movie theaters. So essentially, rather than they put them on TV, which they had done at the time, they also repackaged some of them as movie compilations with a single storyline. It's pretty odd. I have seen some of them, like I think a parody of Paradise Island with Daffy Duck, but anyways, they weren't technically movies. They were like compilations surrounded by a single story. So, but Space Jam was the first original film from the Looney Tunes, as in it did not have any connection with a short. It did not involve any of the shorts at all. It was purely new, and it was one of the first productions. Well, after in years that did not involve the late Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc, who had voiced the majority of the Looney Tunes characters, had died in 1989. Now, in the movie Space Jam, which supposedly takes place around the time that Jordan retired from basketball the first time, Jordan, after having a bad day at the baseball park, eventually goes to play golf with his friends. Of course, the great Bill Murray and others. And all of a sudden, he gets sucked into the hole, which he then finds out is Looney Tunes, who now have to play a game of basketball against the monsters who now have superpowers, which they stole from people like Charles Barkley. Now, people have criticized this movie a lot, and in fact, if you look online and search Nostalgia Critic Space Jam, you might find a whole harsher review. People have criticized the movie for being, well, a product placement movie, because in fact, it originated from product placement. Prior to Space Jam, and Nike licensed from Warner Bros. Bugs Bunny and other characters to appear in commercials from Nike with Michael Jordan in them, such as one where Bugs and Michael play basketball against Marvin the Martian, which is a funny one. And now people say is it has properties in the movie. There's one scene where Jordan's quote unquote manager, played by the great Newman, Wayne Knight, says to, and if I might say, lace up your Nikes, put on your Hanes, and we'll get a Big Mac. Most of which were the sponsors that Michael Jordan had at the time. In fact, he still supports Hanes. Anyways, another criticism was mostly from the new character in the movie, which is supposed to fill in the female quota, Lola Bunny. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's the one that's not Bugs. Essentially, the character's criticized because, of course, they're trying to put a woman into the movie, and there were a lot of criticisms about it. Most of which I can't express on the radio. But, anyways, if you want to find out more about why people hate this movie, then my best recommendation would be to watch The Nostalgia Critic, which you can find on YouTube easily as Nostalgia Critic Space Jam, or on his website, thatguywiththeglasses.com, which shows like a harsher version of the movie. Like, personally, I love that movie. The first time I saw it in theaters was way back when it premiered, and then afterwards, since then, I've had a Spanish cassette of it. I've never owned the DVD since I forgot it was even out. Really, there wasn't any promotion for it. And I am hopefully trying to find a way to see if I can find the Blu-ray, which I honestly haven't been able to find at all. So, it's just a great movie. Like, if people say it's a terrible film, then fine, that's your opinion. Like, there are things that people can agree and disagree on. Like, last weekend I saw Bridesmaid, and I hated it. Why? It didn't feel like a Hangover ripoff to me. Like, they said, it's like The Hangover, and it's not. It's worse. The closest thing to The Hangover they got was the fact that they were both going to Vegas, only in this movie, they didn't go to Vegas. So, I will say this about Bridesmaid anyway, it's just, I don't want to skim away from anything. It is a good film. Just bad storyline. Like, everything about Bridesmaid was terrible, so there were good actresses. Like, I like Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph, who both have done great work on Saturday Night Live and other places, but speaking of Kristen Wiig, I have seen her other work. I have seen MacGruber. People say it was a terrible movie, but I liked it. So, well, that was an awkward review of Bridesmaid. So we're right back after this commercial break with more music. And that was from the soundtrack of Space Jam, the song Space Jam. We're right back at this commercial break.
This is KCR. Hi, this is Peter Buck and Michael Stipe. Yeah.
Listening to KCR in San Diego. Beautiful music.
Buenos días, estás escuchando a KCR, canal 956 en Cox y en Tower Cable, canal número 957. No te escuchado por internet por kcrlive.com o por el TuneIn Radio App, disponible para tu iPhone o teléfono Android. Señores del programa y ahora, excuse me, sir, this is my time. No, es mi tiempo. Vete aquí. No, I'm just telling you, it is my time of the show, so please go. No, yo estoy en mi oración. Ok, para. Oh, then, security. No. I should really make sure people don't leave the door open.
And that I should. Alright, welcome to the second hour of my show. For our next hour, we're going to play mostly dance. And no, not the Irish dance. I'll play some dance music, techno music, any kind of music I can find on my iPod. So let's start off with Big Ali, Bob Sinclair, and Dollar Man with Rock This Party. And that was Christian Diaz with We Would Lounge with their song Por Siempre. I thought it would be higher quality, but it sounds like they recorded it in someone's house without the proper recording techniques. Anyways, let's play another song and then we'll go to another commercial break. So let's just find another song here. Let's see which song. Oh, here it is. Here's now from their album Sueño Eléctrico 2, Bellanova with Hasta el Final. Vein featuring Lady Gaga with the song Near Gaga. And already the critics have come to complain to me. I don't mean to ruin music, okay? I just like playing what I have on my iPod. I happen to have that song, and I like it. So, if you want now to anger more people, here's now Kanye West with the song Gold Digger, Beethoven style.
And you're listening to KCR College Radio and KCRLive.com.
And we're back here at KCR. At John Visits on Cox, Tower Hill 957, online at KCRLive.com, or on the TuneIn Radio app for your iPhone, iPod Touch, and Android. Now, after just reorganizing my playlist again, since it keeps changing on me, here is now another song, which is a brief shout to a friend who's probably not listening to this station, but you never know. Here is now a remix featuring Sean Kingston of Fergie with Big Girls Don't Cry. And in case you're wondering why I have that song, it's because at the time I liked Sean Kingston and Fergie. I still like Fergie, and it has a good beat. And that was Fergie featuring Sean Kingston with the song Big Girls Don't Cry. We're down to 8 more minutes, so I'm going to play 2 more songs. Here's now from his album Mi Sangre, Juanes with Nada Valga Sin Tu Amor. And that was Juanes from his album Mi Sangre with the song Nada Valgo Sin Tu Amor. We're just about done here at KCR, well, my shift, however. So, before I finish off with one more song, I would like to say thank you of you who helped me this week with the music. A special shout out to We Will the Launch, and also a special shout out to a friend of mine who might not hear this on the radio, but still. And also shout out to Joseph Grazone and Richie Wookie. So anyways, we're just about done here. But before we get out, we'll play one more song. I played the song last week, but I think it works here again as well. Mostly because it's been already a bad morning for me, and probably this is the only highlight of the day. That, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with my French exam, so this is just a good song for me just to relax and hope it all goes well. Here is now Enel Nalik with her song Breathe. And that was Enel Nalik with her song Breathe, 2 a.m. That is about it here for my time here at KCR for the week. You're listening to KCR, it's on 956 on Cox and Time Gimbal 957 online at KCRLive.com or on the TuneIn Radio app for iPhone, iPod Touch, and Android. Well, I will see you all next week at the same time, same place. Until then, goodbye. Live from San Diego State University, it's The Shuffle with Joel Garcia, Special Edition. Welcome to the special edition of the Shuffle with Joel Garcia. You're listening to KCR, John F. on Cox, Townbridge Cable 957, or online at KCRLive.com. This is a special edition because that was strange. You want an update? Alright, that was unintentional, but let's try again. Alright, there we go. There we go. Anyway, this is a special edition of the Shuffle with Joel Garcia because right now, while we're talking right now, guess who's playing basketball? And if you can't guess, then too bad. If I'm right now, over at Waco, Texas, the San Diego State Aztecs are taking on Baylor, number 12, of course. In a game which will be pretty awesome, if I were able to watch it. But that's okay. If you want to watch the game right now, you can catch the game right now at 11 o'clock, right now on ESPN. I won't tell you the channel, you should know by now. Anyways, today's show we're going to have a lot of music and also keep you constantly updated with the game if you're not watching it on ESPN or on Kogo 695.7. Anyways, let's go now to our first song of the show. Here's now Bonova with Flash Electrico. And one more thing, I believe that we will win. And that was Mimi Gunter's song, Esposa y Amante. Alright, and our next song here is from the Black Eyed Peas. Their song, Don't Funk With My Heart. It's funk, not the other one. Of the song, Staying Alive. Now, here's another song from my friend, We Were The Launch, with the song, one of the newest songs, Mi Distancia. The reason I'm playing it is because he's in the hospital right now and getting some surgery done. So hopefully I will go see him later today and I'll be able to see him. But this is for him, even though he's completely unconscious. Here's now Mimica with her song Mi Distancia Me Iré, which, to quote him, is unquote, quote unquote, not about sex. Here it is. And that was Mimi got her song Mi Distancia Me Iré. Now let's play everyone's favorite song, Nerd Gaga. And that was Mimi Gaga with her song Mi Distancia Me Iré. Here's now Jewel with her song Intuition. Alright, so that was Don't Bring Me Down from the Electric Six Orchestra. If I'm right. So, wait, let me just double check to make sure I didn't get the wrong song. Alright. Yeah, the Electric Light Orchestra, I apologize. Anyways, so far the Aztecs are still down but not out. As they're right now 46-37, they're down by 11. But Tampa is helping us out according to the Aztec Game Time Twitter account. Now, today I was supposed to say congratulations to a friend of mine who's having births right now. Unfortunately, the baby's still not out. So, I'll keep them until next week. Although I do feel bad for her because I keep thinking of friends from Rachel. And before I promised her not to do it again because I kept sending her constantly over and over and over the episode of Rachel from Friends, the episode of Friends where Rachel can't have the baby because it won't come out. But it's just so funny. Alright, so right now I'm gonna do a few more things. We still have a few more minutes left. So let's just find a way to continue it out, since I'm really honestly running out of ideas. Alright, so let's try going to commercial break again.